Welcome to the BNz World Report. I am your host, Angela Ray, where we will discuss global topics and events from around the world. Our first story comes to us from Reuters.com, and Taiwan is seeking new talks with the U.S. after banning beef. So where's the beef? Well, it was not coming to Taiwan from the United States. But Taiwan right now is eager to mend trade ties with the United States a day after overturning part of a deal to import U.S. beef products. And it said it would reopen talks later this week. Now, Washington wants the country to live by the October 22nd agreement. It had no comment on Taiwan's request for immediate renegotiation. So I'm sure that this is a continuing story we're going to hear more about in the coming weeks. Our next story comes to us from CNN.com. Senator Chris Dodd announced that he won't seek re-election. So Senator Chris Dodd is probably one of the more popular senators, at least well-known senators in the United States Senate, because he's been there for so long. A Democrat from Connecticut, one of the most powerful Democrats actually on Capitol Hill, announced last week that he would not seek re-election. He was first elected to the Senate in 1980 and won congressional elections in his state since 1974. So I guess now is the time that he will be letting someone else take the lead in the Senate from the great state of Connecticut. Our next story comes to us from the Houston Chronicle. Black Medical Museum to honor pioneers. So it's been a century since the first cornerstone was laid at Houston's first charity clinic, built to serve the poor among Harris County's black residents. About 30,000 during that time, but that number has risen to more than 700,000 today. Well, historians hope to restore the home that's located at 1319 Andrew, owned by the Reverend Ned Pullum. He was a minister and entrepreneur, and they want to transform it into the Pullum Health and Business Museum. The Yates nonprofit purchased the Pullum House in 2002 with grants and donations. And right now, we're going to go to the streets and hear from one of our brand news reporters with this special report.
Well, I'm here to help you with all your legal questions. All you got to do is call up. I'll help you out. Whether you're talking about child support, personal injury, bankruptcy, whatever you need, 312-591-3878. Star 1390 on your Verizon cell phone. But I also like to talk about topical things that's going on in the news. I am Warren Ballantyne. I'm a nationally syndicated radio host. You probably see me on CNN, Fox. I'm on Ebony Power 150. All I'm trying to do is cause the revolution, and the revolution in their mind and their thoughts, not physically, but just to open up their thought process, because so many of us have been culturally conditionally and trained through the media and other means. As Harriet Tubman once said, somebody told her, man, you must feel great that you freed 500 slaves. She said, I would have freed 5,000 if they would have only knew they were enslaved. I'm just trying to wake us up to looking at stuff with a third eye and hearing things with a third ear, so we don't fall for the okie doke, for the conditioning that they're doing. You and I had this conversation even about hip hop. When you guys first came out, your videos were on college campuses, they were on schools, your movies were on college campuses. So cats like me growing up, I wanted to go to college because I was like, man, if play there and the women there, that's where I need to be. But now when you see these videos, what do you see? You see killing and drugs and sex, and those who control the media, they realize the influence that you guys were having, because you were getting young cats like me who grew up in the projects of Chicago to aspire to do more. And they saw that and they said, well, wait, we can't have this happening. Let's change this up a little bit. And it's the same thing with television and radio. When you look at TV right now, yeah, I get on CNN. Yeah, I get on Fox as a commentator, but nobody blacks has their own opinionated show. What I'm trying to do is get us to wake up to see that we are being taught, we are being controlled. Even with music today, music plays a huge part in what's going on in this society. So what I do is I go on the air and tell people, look at this. I said on a Monday, You will hear a song and you be like, man, I can't stand that song. By Friday, you know all the words and you're going to buy it. Why? Because they played it so much that you got conditioned to like it. And that's the same thing that's going on with the media, as far as television, as far as print, and as far as radio goes. So I'm trying to have people look at things from a different perspective, not just what they're telling us. My question to you is this: can we really define what a terrorist is in this country?
All right, thank you so much, Team Brand News, for all that you do in contributing to the news. All right, our next story comes to us from the LA Times. Golf pioneer Bill Powell dies at the age of 93, the first African American to build, own, and operate a golf course. So for all of you that thought that Tiger Woods was the first African American associated with golf, well, now you've learned. Now, the PGA said Powell died at Altman Hospital in Canton following complications from a stroke. The grandson of Alabama slaves, Powell created Clearview Golf Club after returning home from World War II. And this just in, for those of you who were wondering if classical music, what it could do for you, well, according to reports, El Sistema, which is a program that started 35 years ago and in Venezuela, may be coming to the United States, or at least an El Sistema inspired program. Kids Notes, which is a pilot program that will take place in East Durham in North Carolina, will start this fall of 2010 in September. Now, the executive director of Kids Notes is currently an Avery Fellow at the New England Conservatory for Music in Boston. And she's learning all of the information from El Sistema and will bring it back to East Durham this fall. And finally, this week for the BNz World Report, we know that it is the new year, and join me and Jay as we talk about and discover what my New Year's resolution is going to be for this year.
It's 2010, and like so many people across the world, I have made the New Year's resolution to get in shape and lose weight. So I'm going to start with some basic working out, probably walking, maybe building up to running, some weight training, and yes, I do have to tackle the nutrition. So I'll probably enlist the help of a trainer. If you're a trainer out there and you're watching, please hit me up at Angela@brandnews.com. I could surely use your help.